Okay, just got back from seeing Twisters, and right out of the gate, obviously this will be like a spoiler-free review. I don't know how you would spoil this movie, really. But to get to the elephant in the room, I don't really know if this is a sequel. Like, there's nods to the OG Twister movie. This didn't feel like a legacy sequel. It didn't feel like a reboot. It felt like its own thing just in the Twister universe. And I think it did a really good job of being sort of its own movie. At times, when everybody's chasing these twisters, the camera work and the camera angles, it threw me for a loop because it just felt so. It felt nostalgic, but in a good way. This movie didn't shove the nostalgia bait down your throat. I thought it did a really good job of just being a fun, entertaining, disaster movie. Now, on that note, on look and feel, this movie also just looked really good. I thought it did a good job of blending, obviously, CGI twisters and stuff with real world elements. And I think it did a really good job of just really feeling immersed and grounded and all that. As for the cast, I'm a little bit biased because I'm a huge Anthony Ramos fan. I've only seen him in Godzilla King of the Monsters and in Beast Wars, or I guess Rise of the Beast. Loved him in that, by the way. But I like him. He's fun, he's funny, he's charming. I just enjoy seeing him. There's something about him that I personally am a big fan of. Glenn Powell, who I first saw in Expendables 3, now I see him in everything. Kudos to the man. Like, he is just rising to this level of stardom, and you can tell he's put a lot of work over his career to get to this point, and he feels like a mainstay, but it feels like he belongs here. I really liked his character arc in the movie. It starts painfully annoying as a viewer, and that's good. I think he embodied that well, but then you start to see that, and that's actually where the movie itself starts to change a little bit. You see this charm start to come into the film, and that's what I was really longing for in this movie. I was wondering when and if we were going to see that, but we get to a moment where a tornado strikes a small town, and you just see the shift in characters and tonality of the film, and that's when the charm started to creep in a little bit, and I really like that shift. Editor Nick here. Quick thing I wanted to add in. You remember in Twister 96, the back and forth bickering and banter that is in this movie. So like once these characters just get to grow a little bit more with each other, you can see the chemistry start to come through. You can see the personality start to come through a bit more. I thought the jokes were fun. There's a moment and a sequence where Daisy Edgar Jones's character goes back to sort of her roots, and there's a character that appears that is just the embodiment of who that character is supposed to be. Tons of fun, had so much fun with it. I really liked that sequence. Yeah, just wanted to sneak that bit in there. Back to the video. This felt like a Twister movie. It was everything you kind of wanted it to be. They didn't mess with the formula. They just brought it into modern day, had some fun with it. There were some jokes that landed, and my theater too. This is, I guess, the second Tuesday that it's been out since opening week, and my theater was nearly packed. Furthermore, the Cineplex that I go to in downtown Toronto, that one had several showings throughout the day, including one 30 minutes immediately after the one that I went to. Like, I was just impressed with how much momentum this movie is getting. I didn't know that it was doing as well as it has been, so, that's kind of reassuring. I think they did a really good job with the movie. I was entertained. I would encourage people to go see it. My biggest nitpick of this movie, it continues the Hollywood trend of there's some YouTube stuff and some live stream stuff that's added into the story here, and it's in the first chunk of the movie. Thankfully, that starts to take a bit of a backseat as the movie progresses, but it's just got that usual trope of, the content creators, the streamers being annoying douchebag assholes. And I wish that some of these movies would just have some sort of YouTuber or streamer on set or giving it a bit of a once-over. I just found that, constant douchebag, loudmouth, in-your-face, go, 10 out of 10 sort of live stream personality to just get really repetitive very quickly in this. Thankfully that, it does take a bit of a backseat. As you know, the heartbeat of the movie starts to come through more and more. So had a good time. I was entertained. I didn't know what kind of expectation I had going into this. I didn't really know what kind of movie it was in the Twister universe. That's still weird to say out loud. But I had fun. I think it was a fun movie. I think it did a good job of just being its own thing while just sharing a name to the late 90s classic. That movie is basically as old as I am. That's what's actually uncomfortable to kind of settle in on. I'm rambling. I had fun. If you guys saw it, let me know what you thought. If you didn't, I encourage you to check it out. It was a good time. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you guys in the next one.